Your life is a mirror reflecting the state of your mind. If you shift your thoughts, you shift your entire existence. It's staggering to think that 85% of people struggle with low self-esteem due to negative self-talk at some point in their lives. That's a huge number, enough to make us pause and wonder, what's really going on in our minds? Today, we're diving into a challenge that's as tough as it is transformative, eliminating negative thinking. This isn't just about shutting down that inner critic. It's about empowering ourselves to lead more fulfilling, meaningful lives. Stoicism offers a profound understanding of our thoughts. These aren't just silent whispers in our minds. They are the loud voices that govern our happiness and suffering. The Stoics teach us that while the world may not always bend to our will, our perception of it is entirely within our control. Stoic philosophers were more than just thinkers. They were mental warriors, fighting against the tyranny of uncontrolled thoughts and emotions with reason, clarity, and inner peace. Today, I'm here to walk you through how these negative thoughts impact us and share practical Stoic strategies to combat them. We'll learn how to harness the incredible power of our minds to build a life not shackled by negativity, but fueled by virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. If you're skeptical, I invite you to stay with me. This might challenge some of your core beliefs, but it will also unlock a new horizon of personal growth. So let's explore together how to break free from negativity and cultivate a mindset that empowers us, not limits us. Negative thinking isn't just a fleeting bad mood or a random nuisance. It's a pervasive issue that can affect every area of our lives. From how we feel when we wake up in the morning to the choices we make about our health, careers, and relationships, negative thoughts can be paralyzing. But what exactly is negative thinking at its core? It's a pattern of anticipating the worst, undermining our own efforts, and often assuming that we are less capable or deserving than we truly are. Why do we fall into this trap? The Stoics believe that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but rather our interpretations of them. As Epictetus famously said, men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. This perspective is key to understanding the negative thinking dilemma. It's not the reality itself that constrains us, it's the lens through which we view the world. The way we interpret events shapes our experience of them. Carl Jung, the renowned psychologist, also explored this idea and noted that much of our negative thinking stems from the unconscious mind. He said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." By becoming aware of these unconscious beliefs and biases, we can begin to reduce their power over us. Think about the impact of negative thinking on your everyday life. When faced with a challenge, negative thoughts often make us feel like we've already lost before we've even begun. It's as if we're rowing a boat with all our might, but don't realize that we're still anchored to the shore. No matter how hard we try, we're not going anywhere. Stoicism offers us the tools to critically examine our thoughts. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, encourages us to reflect on our thoughts with scrutiny and reject those that are irrational or unhelpful. This kind of self-examination allows us to detach from harmful thinking patterns and regain control of our mental landscape. To effectively tackle negative thinking, we need to understand where it comes from. It's not just about identifying bad habits. It's about uncovering the deeper roots that shape our perceptions and influence our mental state. Negative thoughts often have a variety of sources: our upbringing, societal pressures, past failures, and even casual comments from those around us. These influences can plant seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation, which grow into a persistent state of negativity. From an early age, many of us are exposed to environments that don't nurture positive self-esteem. Consider a child who is repeatedly told they're not smart enough, or an educational system that only rewards perfection. These experiences shape our worldview, making it difficult to see ourselves and our potential clearly. Aristotle wisely said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. When we apply this thinking to the mind, we realize that repeated negative thoughts become a habit of seeing ourselves and our abilities through a diminished lens. Failure and rejection also reinforce negative internal dialogues. Each setback, each criticism whispers, "I knew I couldn't do it." Over time, these thoughts become self-fulfilling prophecies, not because we lack the ability to succeed, but because we begin to act in ways that align with our negative beliefs. Plato's idea that reality is created by the mind is especially relevant here. By examining and challenging our interpretations of reality, we can change the very foundation of our thoughts. This shift can completely alter how we experience life and the opportunities before us. Fear, too, plays a critical role in fueling negative thinking. It's a natural protective response, but it often spirals into excessive worry and anxiety, clouding our rational judgment. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, and fear of rejection can all lead to catastrophic thinking, where the mind jumps to the worst possible outcomes. Stoicism offers a powerful antidote to this, the premeditation of evils. This practice involves visualizing the worst-case scenario in detail to reduce its emotional impact when, or if, it actually happens. By consciously acknowledging our fears, we weaken their grip on us and reclaim our ability to act. Overcoming negative thinking is not just about silencing the internal critic. It's about understanding its origin, questioning its validity, and replacing it with rational, constructive thought. Stoicism teaches us that by mastering our thoughts, we can master our perceptions and ultimately our lives. The goal isn't to avoid negative thoughts, but to challenge them, examine them, question their accuracy, and replace them with more constructive alternatives. This Stoic approach isn't about merely coping with negativity, it's about thriving in spite of it. Remember, every thought we choose to entertain, and every thought we decide to challenge, is a step toward the life we truly desire to live. By mastering our inner dialogue, we open ourselves to new possibilities and ultimately, a life of greater fulfillment and purpose. In today's world, we cannot ignore the weight of societal and cultural pressures. We live in a society where scarcity and competition often dominate the narrative. These pressures lead to high, almost unreachable standards and can cause us to constantly compare ourselves to others, leaving us feeling as though we're never enough. This cycle of comparison can be toxic, causing frustration, anxiety, and a sense of inadequacy. But what if we could shift this focus? Stoicism offers a powerful antidote, encouraging us to turn our attention away from external validation and focus instead on internal virtues. The Stoics teach us that success is not measured by how we stack up against others, but by our personal growth and the cultivation of virtues such as resilience, wisdom, and self-control. These inner qualities are timeless and can act as the foundation for lasting fulfillment. Negative thinking doesn't have a simple origin. It's shaped by a complex mix of personal history, emotional experiences, ingrained fears, and societal messages. But we don't have to be ruled by these negative thoughts. Stoic philosophy, alongside modern psychology, teaches us how to control our perceptions and reactions to life's challenges. By taking responsibility for how we respond to our thoughts, we can break free from the cycle of negativity and begin to rebuild our mental framework. This process is empowering, giving us the tools to reshape our minds and cultivate a positive, resilient mindset. Renewing your mind isn't just a quick fix or a fleeting attempt to think positively. It's a profound transformation of your internal dialogue, a shift from merely surviving life to truly thriving. The Stoic philosophers were masters of this discipline. Through consistent self-reflection and intentional thought shaping, they learned how to develop mental resilience and peace. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This insight reminds us that renewal starts by taking control of our thoughts, scrutinizing them for accuracy, and aligning them with our deepest intentions and values. The journey to self-awareness is central to this process. As Aristotle famously said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. By diving deep into our thought patterns, we can begin to discern which thoughts serve us well and which ones undermine our efforts. This introspection isn't about denying our emotions. It's about understanding them, managing them, and ultimately mastering them. Carl Jung's wisdom also complements Stoic thought, offering insights into how we can engage with our negative thoughts. Jung argued that what we resist persists. So instead of fighting against negative thoughts, Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge them, analyze their origins, and assess their truthfulness. By doing so, we prevent these thoughts from taking root and growing unchecked in the darkness of our subconscious. Renewing the mind also means immersing ourselves in materials and activities that nurture positivity and growth. Whether through reading challenging philosophical texts, engaging with inspiring art, or simply spending time in quiet reflection and meditation, we can expose ourselves to new perspectives that replace the old, unhelpful narratives. Socrates advocated for living an examined life, a life of continual self-reflection, and this practice is essential to keeping our minds agile and aligned with our values. Plato also believed in the importance of aligning with ideals such as justice, beauty, and goodness. In much the same way, renewing our minds is about aligning our thoughts with the highest versions of ourselves. By aspiring to these ideals, we build a self-concept that is grounded in wisdom, compassion, and strength. To put this into practice, we can start each day with a simple affirmation or stoic reflection that sets the tone for the type of thoughts we want to nurture. Whether it's a reminder from Epictetus on the power of our responses, or a mantra from Jung about embracing our inner strength, these daily practices are the building blocks for a renewed mind. And just as important as our inner work is the environment we create around us. Stoic wisdom urges us to choose wisely the company we keep and the environments we inhabit. As Seneca advised, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Surrounding ourselves with positive, inspiring individuals and engaging with uplifting media helps foster a mindset rooted in growth and resilience. Aristotle, in his exploration of friendship, spoke of the three types of relationships: those of utility, pleasure, and the good. The highest form of friendship is the friendship of the good, relationships built on mutual respect and a shared striving for virtue. These are the relationships that challenge us to become the best versions of ourselves. Moreover, Plato's allegory of the cave teaches us about the transformative power of expanding our environment. Those who are trapped in the cave only see shadows of reality, but when one escapes and sees the world outside, they gain a new understanding of what is possible. Similarly, by expanding our environments to include positive influences, we can change our perspectives and elevate our understanding. Carl Jung's concept of the collective unconscious also sheds light on the importance of our surroundings. The archetypes present in our shared cultural experiences shape how we perceive ourselves and the world. By consciously choosing environments that support our goals and values, we can foster positive archetypes, those that embody strength, self-actualization, and wisdom. In practical terms, surrounding ourselves with positivity means more than just being around cheerful people. It involves engaging with content that aligns with our values, participating in communities that encourage growth, and being mindful of the media we consume. It also means creating an environment at home and work that reflects the virtues we hold dear, whether through a clean, organized space or through symbols and reminders of our philosophical commitments. As Seneca said, hang on to your youthful enthusiasms. You'll be able to use them better when you're older. By consciously surrounding ourselves with positivity, we are cultivating those enthusiasms that align with our better nature, enthusiasms that will continue to enrich our lives and empower us to live with purpose. The path to personal growth is not a solitary one. It is a journey where our actions ripple outward, influencing those around us and creating a cycle of positivity. To overcome the hold of negative thinking, the Stoics remind us that action is essential. Simply understanding and intending is not enough. We must act. As Epictetus wisely said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This straightforward guidance reveals a core Stoic truth. Our ideals are only truly realized through our actions, not just our thoughts. In the Stoic tradition, action means living in accordance with virtues like wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. It's about making intentional choices daily that reflect these values and challenging the negative thoughts that tell us we're incapable or unworthy. By doing so, we rewrite our narrative, replacing self-doubt with empowerment and the belief that we can achieve our aspirations. Aristotle, too, emphasizes the importance of action in his doctrine of the mean, where virtue is achieved through habitual practice, choosing the middle ground between excess and deficiency. We don't simply become just or brave by thinking about it. We become so by consistently acting in ways that embody these qualities. Action, for Aristotle, isn't just a demonstration of virtue, it's the means by which we cultivate it. Plato further enhances this perspective with his theory of forms, suggesting that true knowledge inevitably leads to right action. By aligning our actions with our understanding of virtue, we move closer to the ideal of goodness, not just in our minds, but in our entire being. Carl Jung's concept of individuation aligns perfectly with this approach. For Jung, psychological growth isn't just about contemplation. It's about integrating our conscious and unconscious through real-world encounters. His famous insight, "You're what you do, not what you say you'll do," reminds us that our actions reveal our true character and maturity. In a Stoic sense, taking action is about more than just combating negative thoughts. It's about actively embodying the virtues that define Stoicism. Every decision, big or small, is an opportunity to reflect our commitment to self-improvement and living a life of integrity. Whether it's choosing kindness in a tough situation, confronting a long-held fear, or offering forgiveness, each act brings us closer to the person we want to become. Moreover, life's challenges are not obstacles to avoid, but opportunities to grow. Stoics see adversity as a chance to practice resilience, patience, and other virtues. Instead of shying away, we embrace difficulty as a training ground for personal growth. In practical terms, taking Stoic action might look like setting daily goals that align with our values, engaging in acts of service to promote justice, or practicing reflection through journaling or meditation to foster self-discipline. Each of these actions helps to counter negative thinking and build a more virtuous self. Words, too, carry power in Stoic philosophy. The Stoics understood that speech, like action, can either build or tear down. Epictetus famously said, "First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak." Our words shape our reality, and by speaking with honesty, restraint, and kindness, we reinforce the virtues we strive to embody. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to communicate with integrity, ensuring that his words aligned with the virtues he cultivated. Aristotle's concept of ethos, pathos, and logos speaks to the power of speech to influence and persuade. The way we speak does more than convey information. It shapes perceptions and molds behaviors, both in others and in ourselves. Plato also understood the power of dialogue, using it as a tool to guide others toward greater understanding and self-awareness. From a psychological perspective, Carl Jung's theory suggests that language has the power to reveal and integrate unconscious impulses, helping us achieve greater psychological wholeness. The way we speak to ourselves matters just as much as the way we speak to others. Negative self-talk can be incredibly damaging, while positive affirmations rooted in Stoic principles can strengthen our resolve and uplift our spirit. The power of words, therefore, extends beyond conversations with others. Our internal dialogue, the way we speak to ourselves, greatly influences our self-perception and emotional state. Stoic exercises like affirmations help to shift our inner narratives from self-doubt to self-empowerment, reinforcing our commitment to live according to our highest values. In every aspect of life, our words and actions matter. They shape not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. As we continue to cultivate the virtues of Stoicism, let's be mindful of the transformative power of both our speech and our deeds. By aligning them with reason, virtue, and wisdom, we have the power to create a better world for ourselves and others. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey through Stoic philosophy. As you navigate the complexities of life, remember that every action you take and every word you speak builds the life of virtue and purpose you are striving for. If you found today's discussion helpful, stay tuned for our next video, where we'll explore how to approach adversity with a Stoic mindset. Continue your journey with us. Let's build not just knowledge, but a community of wisdom and strength.